What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman and Ben Rasa here for Awesemo.com, and we are back with another PGA Contenders coming off of what I'm going to say, the British Open. We are here for the 3M, and it's an interesting field, including some names that I just simply didn't expect to be there, but I'm not looking at them right now. What I want you to do is hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Ben, didn't go well for us at the British Open.
No, that's an understatement. Sometimes you just evaluate things incorrectly. That was the story for me. One of the many topics was I expected more wind. Built like that didn't work out. We saw a lot of pure iron players up there, headlined by the best iron player in the world in Morikawa. So swing and a miss. You get back. The one good thing about golf, you get a rebound pretty quickly each and every week. We've got a new tournament here. Not the best field, but you know what? At the same time, we've got TPC Twin Cities, one of your favorite courses out there. And we're excited to dive into this 3M field.
Yes, we are. I don't really care if I go first or if you go first. So the floor is yours. I'm allowing you to make your choice. Would you like to lead off or do you want to go second?
No, I'm gonna set the tone here.
I'm gonna say this right now. I think we're overlapping on one of these guys.
You always say that. I say no. Maybe. Not my first one. There's no way. One good thing about a field like this and a tournament like this, I think it's easier to bet because you're not choosing against. You're getting big time odds, and the field is a little more open. Like you could see a big, a long shot, someone from really a first time winner, kind of like we saw with Power at the Barbasol and whatnot. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I'm sure lots of people saw that one.
Hey, that was, of course, it's in an alternate field. My guy finally breaks through. 35-1 outright. Sergio Garcia. That's my man this week. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that you have him. But I do, and I look at a situation. Sergio's not doing anything really to move the needle one way or another. He's made 4 straight cuts. 19th at the Open, 19th at the US Open, 20th at the Charles Schwab. He's kind of just playing somewhat quality golf, really, methodically paying off his tag. But when we're talking about outrights, that's not what we need. We need upside. And you just look at it, it's the same story. Tee to green, everything is solid. The driving is fantastic. The putter is absolutely abysmal. So you say to yourself, how can you back a guy like this? Well, I just want to look at it. Sergio Garcia's last win, Sanderson Farms. That was in November of 2020. He gained 2.8 strokes putting. In the 9 tournaments before that victory, he lost strokes putting in every single one. It can happen. It can flip. And when it does, Sergio's going to be in the mix. He's not putting nearly as bad as he was on that stretch. 35-1 to me in this field is pretty generous. I'm going to back a pure ball striker, one of the better players in the field, not getting a lot of buzz, and hope and pray that maybe we get some putting, just like Morikawa, first in strokes gained putting at the Open, boom, wins. I'm not expecting first in strokes gained putting, but I am expecting Sergio to be in the mix this week.
Well, that was not who I thought you were going with. I still think you can have my first guy, and this is why I got a little squirrely when you started. 35-1 to win, your boy, Emiliano Grillo. Yes. And I mean, you just explained basically the exact same reason why I'm going with Grillo. Talk about guys that can't putt. So it was a bit rough heading into the Open for Grillo. Rebounded nicely with a T12. 4 top 10s this year. Close call at RBC Heritage. Tied for second. He was tied for third here last year, which is also very exciting for me to see. The thing that I'm paying attention to most for this tournament is driving accuracy. That seems to be the driver in terms of predictable stats here. He's 64th on tour. Nothing crazy. He's not bad. It's not elite. It's just sort of exists. Putting, however, relatively unimportant here, and that's a good thing because Grillo can't putt. So I like his odds across the board. I would happily take him for top 10s or top 20s, but I really did like the 35-1 number.
Listen, we've seen flashes of Grillo finding something with the putter, and the results came with it. You mentioned he was third here last year, gained strokes putting in that event, and that's really the catalyst. He's another one I will say, and I'm going to talk about this on the shows that we have you covered all week, breaking down the 3M. Grillo was another guy that really benefited from no wind last week. Not built to scramble, really leaned on the irons, and made some putts when he had to. And that's really where you're at. I have no problem backing him. I think Sergio is obviously a more proven winner, but again, reasonable price tags. My second guy, this is the one I think we could overlap. Been playing this guy a lot. Talk about bad putting, is Kyle Stanley, top 10, 7-1. That's the number that I need to hone in on. I see 4.5 to 1. I see 5 to 1. And I see 7-1. That's a good number out there. This is a guy, he is making cuts repeatedly, but he has no upside because of the putter. But you know what? I know it's frustrating to watch this week after week. It pays off in the long run if you're targeting these ball strikers. And Kyle Stanley has made 7 straight cuts. He has lost strokes putting in 6 straight events. But the one event that he gained strokes putting, you can see the upside that comes with it. If he pairs up the ball striking and the putting, it will happen. I'm hoping that happens here. Tee to green, he's not a 7-1 top 10 player. That's clear. We just need a little luck on the greens. He's got a little experience here, I believe. Let me see the course history. We'll do that live on the show. Yeah, he came in 32nd last year here, so nothing bad, nothing good. I like that. 7-1, you've got to like that number.
I think 7-1 for Kyle Stanley there is a fantastic number because I saw it at plus 550. Kyle Stanley, top 10 is where I had it. So you found a better number than I did. We are on the same page for this one. You were absolutely right leading it off. Oddly enough, Stanley might actually be a worse putter than Grillo, which is pretty hard to do, but it is in fact the truth. 32nd in driving accuracy, though. That is what I was looking at. You touched on most of the other things, the 7 straight cuts, 32nd here last year. He's been worse putting in 2021, but the rest of his game has actually improved. It's kind of crazy. He's dropping like 0.4 of a stroke more putting now, but has gained it elsewhere. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but that happens to be the case. If putting isn't as important today, that makes me like Kyle Stanley more in 2021 than I would have liked him in 2020 because I think he's just simply a better golfer now. I have nothing else to add. I'm going to go ahead and take your line instead of my line. Give me some Kyle Stanley.
I'll be a nice guy. I'll let you know where I found that. And that speaks, listen, we talk about it all the time. You don't think that makes a difference? Look at the end of the year. It makes a huge difference because you're not going to be hitting these frequently. But when you do, you want to maximize the potential, and an extra unit and a half would make all the difference at the end. So fire up Kyle Stanley. Hope he putts. My last one, again, a really good number. Don't really have a strong take on the guy. It's Joel Dahmen. 4-1 for a top 20. This is a guy made 7 of 8 cuts, including the Open. Tee to green, he's fine. Obviously had a breakthrough win at a weak event. This is another weak field. Price is reasonable. It's as simple as that. When I'm looking for top 20s, it's really about, is there anyone that stood out amongst their peers? And to me, Dahmen is the guy. I don't love that he's flying back, but you know what? If you're in the Open, that means you're probably in the top end of this field because most of these guys would have loved to be flying back because they weren't able to get into a major. He made a cut. He's just not simply 4-1 to cash a top 20 ticket is more than enough value here. It's as simple as that for me. Going to just put down a position on that, see how he plays, and hopefully cash a pretty good multiplier in terms of odds there.
Yeah, so I looked at Dahmen a lot, and it was a coin flip for me to have him as my third guy, which made me think we were very live to have all three, because obviously you taking Grillo to win a tournament would not have been much of a reach. Unfortunately, I didn't go to Dahmen. Honestly, I'm not proud of this one. I don't like it at all. That would be Ches, top 20, plus 280. Finishing my theme of accurate drivers. He's 5th in driving accuracy. So this one is actually at the top and did make the cut at the British Open. Wasn't really pretty. I don't know if that's anything to hang your hat on, but it happened. Does have a top 20 the week before, tied for 18th at the John Deere. He has missed what feels like all of the cuts in 2021, but I don't really care much about the cut itself. This is a top 20 bet. He's either in the top 20 or he's not, whether he makes the cut or not. Beginning of the season, outside of the Safeway, was bad. The middle of the season was just a sea of missed cuts, but he made the cut in 5 out of his last 6. And I think this number in this field is pretty solid. It's not exciting at all. Plus 280, not a crazy number, but I didn't find a lot in the top 20 that I really liked for this spot. So I'm going to Ches.
Ches, the one thing, and we've talked about this a lot on the DFS side, he's a form golfer. When he gets on a bad run, it tends to last longer than it probably should. But when he starts making cuts, Ches is the type of guy you just mentioned, made 5 of 6. He kind of rattles them off. So I do think he's going to make the weekend here. If you make the weekend and you're trying to cash top 20 bets, you kind of live with the result with these guys because you're getting value long-term with plus money on a guy like Ches, a guy like Dahmen. My goal with them is just get them into contention if they have a good round Sunday to fall inside that number. So it's going to be an interesting one. The 3M is obviously a lot different on the DFS side. On the betting side, certainly we've got all the content you need because, again, it's a different type of field from what we saw last week at the British Open.
Do you know where we are next week?
Yeah, we're in hopefully Tokyo for the Olympics, which is a fascinatingly different type of tournament. We've only seen this one time. I remember playing it in Brazil, and it was fascinating. So it's non-cut, a lot of different circumstances for betting. So make sure to tune into that because that's going to be a wild breakdown for you and me.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to be ready for that one, but yes,
I'm
very
ready.
Different. Olympics. If the Olympics exist, we will be talking Olympics next week. Otherwise, we will be skipping the PGA contenders because there will not be golf. We're going to be playing some random Corn Ferry tournament or something. I don't know. I don't know what else is going to be going on. We're not going to have anything else.
No, probably not. So it'll be
we'll pick a disc golf tournament. That's what we can do.
Oh, that's right. My wheelhouse. We'll see. I like that. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of no cuts. Not to get on tangent, but I do like to change it up. The golf season can feel like a grind. When you get a different type of event, like the match play or something, it's a different feel for the betting market. So 3 up, 3 down here. I like it. I'm excited. I have a feeling that we're going to see some of these non-putters putt this week for us, and that's going to make all the difference.
One can only hope. One last reminder, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Keep your eyes peeled for all of the PGA content that we have at awesemo.com. We will be back again next week for the Olympics. We hope, as long as there's an Olympics. Good luck, everybody. Go Kyle Stanley.
Go Sergio.